Hello and welcome to another video. I'm here filming this today when I didn't think I'd be filming this. Basically, my whole day has been super crazy, and the big one, certain super exciting thing about it has been that this arrived. But before I get into this, I really just gotta decompress about the kind of day I had. I woke up, an application that I had sent to a local science museum. They replied and they were like, oh, well, we have all our positions filled. We actually aren't hiring, even though they had like a job listing on their website. That was super disappointing. I went to go sign up for loans from my master's program, and as I was getting ready to almost finish with these loans, there are two more things I have to do to get them. I get an email from a school that I interviewed with in January who decided to hire someone else. They emailed me and said that the person they hired at the last minute, this person wasn't able to teach, and they're looking for someone at the last minute to teach physics. Can I teach physics? And I was like, what? It was the craziest thing to ever happen. And they did not offer me a job, but I did talk to them. I told them I was willing to see if I could work something out. My biggest concern is the lease I just signed. I don't know what happens if I do not keep the lease. I don't know if it's something we'll be able to work our way out of if they hired me. I have to talk to two more people tomorrow, and then they're going to give me a decision by Monday. And it's super stressful because basically so much of my last semester of senior year, was so crazy because I was talking to schools and I was waiting for schools and I was being rejected by schools over and over and over again. And now it's like we're right back to that whole situation. And I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to do the things I plan to do today because I don't know what's happening. It's like everything is super uncertain today. I don't know if I'm going to, do I need to keep unpacking? Because if we're moving again, I'm not going to keep unpacking. The self-study I was working on, am I still going to be attending this school? Am I not? What is going to happen? I don't know. They won't really settle everything until Monday. And it's very distracting for me. I'm a very anxious person and I cannot focus on anything. But this planner arrived today, and I thought that it would be a good idea to come onto here, film this video as kind of a distraction and also as a way to just get some stuff out of the way, because one way or another I'll run out of time to film. If I have to move again, filming it'll just be crazy, and if I don't have to move again, I'll lose so much study time being so distracted over these next few days that I'll want to study more later. And so I thought now would be a good time to just do this video so that I can get it out of the way and also just not have to be so stressed. And what I have in front of me is the Bookworm Life Planner by Peanut Butter Taco. Yeah, Peanut Butter Taco. And oh my god, I'm so excited about this planner. I learned about it sometime in late June, I think. And they were sold out. They just got restocked. They're going to be in stock until through the winter, I think. And I'm so excited. This planner is what my reading journal has become based off of. And I don't know what my reading journal will be in light of this planner. I don't know what I'm going to change with it. I am using this planner. I'm probably going to start right away. You will see why that's kind of strange in a second, but I'm so excited about this planner. And I started to adapt my reading journal because I didn't know when she was going to have these planners back in stock, but they are back in stock. She has two versions of it. One that's just a monthly view with some notes pages, and then one that is a monthly view and some weekly pages. And I got the weekly pages because my reading journal has weekly pages. I modeled it off the original planner, and last year's planner there wasn't a monthly version. This is the weekly version. It was $35 before shipping and taxes and everything. I paid almost $50 after shipping. Shipping was like $10. And then I think the month view only is like $26. So this is a super affordable planner. I was really surprised. I was worried it would be more than that. And if it were much more, I thought it would be comparable to just some of the, I don't know, I thought she might put a price point of like $50 on it, and then I wouldn't have been able to get it right now. I would have just waited, but it was 35, and I was like, oh, I can do that. And so this is super exciting because it's what my reading planner is based off of, or my reading journal is based off of, and this is the inspiration. I'm so excited. I don't have last year's, so I can't compare. I will note things that I do know are different. The first one is going to be the cover. This cover is a plastic laminate with this like thick, kind of, not quite cardstock, but thick paper cover on it. And it's kind of a glossy paper, but this is not laminated. This is. And I know that last year's planner had a laminated cover, but the company she uses doesn't offer that feature anymore, so she just has this double layer cover going on. I think Plum Paper Planner has a similar kind of cover. That's what I've heard. Maybe it wasn't Plum Paper. I don't know. I've never owned anything that has a cover like this before, so it'll be really interesting. I don't know. I don't like. Part of me is skeptical that this does anything at all. And yet I know that there are planners that utilize this system and that people have been fairly successful with covers like this. And so maybe there's something there. My copy came with a little bit of a dent here. There's like some bending. I don't know if you can see it because I can't see my camera. Yeah, right there. That being said, it was wrapped very well. It came wrapped in bubble wrap and with this cute little tissue paper around it. And so I really don't know how it got a little bent, but that's not anything important. I know that the coil is supposed to be a little bigger than last year's coil, but I don't have it for comparison. It's a plastic black coil. I also don't know that I've ever owned anything with a plastic coil before, so I don't know how that will hold up. I know that some people last year had trouble with it uncoiling, like this thing here wasn't the most secure. But I know that she made the coil a little bigger to hopefully help with that. I don't know enough about the situation, but that's the information I do know. The cover is purple, like the background of the cover is purple. Last year's was kind of this really pretty blue teal color. And yeah, okay, so let's get into this. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so this is the first, shaking. Okay, this is the first little section that we see. It's really hard when my camera is above my head and I want to make sure I'm in frame. One day I'll fix that. Okay. So we have this cover page and it says The Bookworm Life, and it's a book and it's purple. And this book belongs to peanutbuttertaco.com, and then their Facebook group, Let's Peanut Butter Taco About Books. I'm in that group. It's super fun. Then there are 2 pages with bookshelves for you to kind of, you know, do whatever you want. I think I will probably do what I think a lot of people do, and is just color this in as you read books and kind of fill in their titles with these books here. Then we have 2 pages of dot grid, and I wonder how big this dot grid is. It's close to, if not exactly, 5 millimeters. I think it's a 5 millimeter dot grid or something close to that. Another page of dot grid, and then this page right here. I know in the other planner there were 2 pages like this and something like, I don't know, this had a heading and she took away the heading, which I liked because I would rather just have the lined paper. This section for most anticipated book releases, a section for goal setting. That's going to be interesting because when it comes to goal setting, I don't know what kind of bookish goals I have, like other than to read a certain amount of books in a given time. There are certain series that I want to start, I think, that I'll probably put here. In fact, I know that. When I set this up, I'll tell you more. Then we get into the first page, or the first like planning page, and this is where things get strange. It starts in January, technically. It's like a regular calendar year planner, and if you bought the planner from last year, then you won't really start this until January, but I want to start it right now. So I will be starting with August, and I think that I might attempt to recoil it to put August at the beginning instead of starting in the middle and then flipping back, which I could also do. This is an undated planner, so it really depends on what I want to do. I've never uncoiled something before. The idea is super scary, but it will bother me to not have August or to not have the beginning at the beginning. It's also really weird to start in August. I wish you could have had them out so that we could get them by July. So that it would correspond to regular planner years, you know? So like even like take Erin Condren for example, they release like 18 calendar months at a time. You can buy an 18-month planner, you can buy a 12-month for the next year, a 12-month starting in July, and that gives you options. So that if you want to be a mid-year planner, you can start then, or if you want to be a calendar year planner, you can start then. And this just came out at such a weird time that you have to be an awkward mid-year planner or a calendar year planner. And so the one thing that I would say I wish for next year is that the new planners release in time for regular planner season kind of releases, because this is a little late and I'm going to start in August. No one can stop me, but I'm definitely a little disappointed that it's so hard to kind of make that work. But it's undated, so that might just be me, like I'm making it hard. So January is orange, and I know that some of this artwork is similar to last year's and some like a little bit is different. I don't know the exact differences, but I feel like her thing was to keep it basically the same with some improvements, and I can dig that. I don't mind if I have a planner like this and it's the same for the next 5 years. If I like this, which I really am so excited about it. I'm so excited. I love the artwork. I'm also winded because I'm so anxious. That's why I had to give you guys the whole backstory earlier, so that when I'm winded right now, you know what's up. Anyway, January, this notepad, I will probably be using this to keep a TBR list. That sounds like what I'll do. Then books are my happy place. Yeah, okay, let's just keep going. This is what the monthly view looks like. It's very standard, super neutral, except for these little book stack right here, and I'm so excited. It's so pretty. Like, the paper is super smooth. I might do a pen test on an extra page so you can get a sense of what the paper is like. You have this like scripted font here, and then January in this typewriter kind of font, and then this little section for notes. And I'm probably going to use this just like I use the monthly in my reading journal, but with more space. Because if I have a heavy reading month, I was like July, I did a big readathon, and I might not do that for a while, especially if I'm, well, no matter what, I'm going to be starting classes or I'm going to go into teaching, and I won't have time to do that kind of reading. But I want to have the space. I don't want to feel like I have to squish my books in. And what I want to use this for is to mark when readathons are happening that I'm excited about. Any book releases I'm excited about, book events. I don't think I live or will live near anywhere with like big enough bookstores to have signings and stuff, but if something like that's on my radar, it will go here. And then I want to have a visual of when I start and stop books. So if I start a book on a certain day, I'll write the book's name and then draw a line until I have finished the book, to give me an idea of how long it took me to read and to just see it. I really liked the way it looked in July. That was in another video that you can reference if you want, but it was a lot of fun. And it's a Sunday start, but this is so neutral and so undated that you can easily cover that up and make this a Monday start if you prefer. When I look at a calendar view, I definitely prefer a Sunday start, even though I plan like my life based around a Monday start. That's just how I work. Then these pages, they're technically the weekly pages, but there's nothing here. Like, you can do whatever you want with them. There are 7 spaces though for 7 days of the week, and I will be using this as a weekly. I want to use it to mark what I'm reading that day, what I started, what I'm thinking about, what I'm reading, what I finished, if a book is good, if it's not, if I didn't read at all. I want to mark that here. And then that has other questions. I have my Erin Condren teacher planner to track my reading. Honestly, I have not been keeping up with that tracker very well. Do I want to move that tracker into here? Who knows? I have no idea exactly what I'm going to do with those trackers. My use of the Erin Condren teacher planner is super up in the air right now because I told you I was taking a break from it in August. And when it comes to September, as of today, I don't even know where I will be. I hate living life like this, by the way. It really, really messes with my tendencies to be super anxious. But one way or another, I feel like I will probably want to move that tracker into here just because, one, I know I'll be looking into this more often, and two, I want to have all the stuff together now, now that I have a dedicated book planner. I'm so excited. Oh, I love the rainbows. Like, even my reading journal is modeled on these rainbows. That's the color scheme that I made for it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these pages. Some months have 6 weeks, and then a dot grid page. I may or may not, I'll probably, if a month is short and I don't need all the pages, I will probably rip some out. We'll see how that goes. What else? Then you have the monthly wrap up for books you've read here, books acquired. This is an interesting section because, well, actually, when I first saw this planner, I was like, wow, this is useless to me because I don't buy books. But since I've started reading more, I actually do buy books. And when I was reading the most in middle and high school, I actually bought a lot of books. So this is actually a nice page now that I think about it. I've been really getting on those Kindle book sales. I got Nevernight for $3, Girls of Paper and Fire for $3. There was one more. Renegades for $3. That's the kind of book buying I've been doing, but I've been doing it often enough that I think a list like this will actually be pretty interesting, and I was not expecting that. Then we get into February, and it says treat your shelf. Oh my god, that's so much fun. I haven't looked at all of them. I love puns. I haven't looked at all the little sayings. This is my first time flipping through it. I've seen other people's flip throughs, but I don't have the attention span to have watched them flip through everything. Usually I put flip throughs and plan with me's in the background while I do lots of other things. Oh, and that was pink. Then March is green, and it says reading is magical. Going to flippity flip, flippity flip. April is teal. Open a book, grow your mind. This is a really pretty doodle. I love her art style. Okay. May is this magenta color, which is fun. May is my birthday month, and this is one of my favorite colors. It says Once Upon a Time. June is yellow. Today is booked. To do, read, reread, etc. And then here I think there are extra pages. So here you have a goal check-in. And this is where recoiling it will get weird. This is a mid-year report, and it's on the back of July. So I could save my goal setting pages and set them up for 2020, even if my mid-year stuff will happen in June. And just kind of fill things in when I get to them, even if they don't correlate very well to what the mid-year would be if I start in August. But 6 months after August, September, October, November, December, January. So January is when this would be the middle of the year that I started in. I haven't decided how I want to deal with these pages. I could also just go to them in January just because I really have to figure out what I want to do with that. July is red. Some stories stay with us forever. August, green. Reading is my favorite. September blue, sleep is good, books are better. I love that. That's fun. I used to stay up so late reading books. I once got City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I thought that was the final book in the Mortal Instruments series. I was wrong, but it was the most recent book when I first started reading it way back. Maybe I was in the 9th grade, and I got it from the library at like 5 p.m. one day, and I read it until like 5 a.m. the next day. I think I read it in one day. I did not put it down. I did not let my parents talk me into going to sleep. I stayed up until I finished it, and it was good. October is purple. Reading is an adventure. I love the simplicity of this. Like, it's not a neutral planner. There is this color scheme going on and these doodles, but it's not, what's the word I want? It's not obnoxious. It's not obnoxious with the design. It's not everywhere. It's not too busy. It's just very pleasant. So November is this navy blue, just one more chapter, which is super like nice, because if you use this as an academic planner, then at the end of November you have one more chapter in the year. I don't know if that's deliberate or if I'm stretching, but I thought that was interesting. December is purple. Between the pages of a book is a wonderful place to be. Definitely true. And then at the very end, goal assessment. You don't have to be perfect to be amazing, so you just kind of go over the goals you had. And I like this. It's enough checking in that I feel like you're not going to completely forget everything, but it's not too much for like a book planner. Like, I love reading and books are important, but like, this planner is not going to dictate my life. It's not the kind of place I'll put goals that are unusually important, you know? So like, just a little check-in to see like, oh, you said you were going to read 20 books this year, but it's June and you've only read 7. You might want to pick up the pace, you know? I think this is a good amount of goal assessment. Then we have book superlatives. Best cover, most inspiring, most likely to break your heart, most challenging read, most likely to recommend, most surprising. Really excited about those. Hung out to dry, books you did not finish. I wonder what that'll look like. I'm excited for these year-long pages because I've never been conscious of the things that I read. I read a lot in middle and high school, and I did it really out of just sheer momentum and like force of will. Like, I was just a bulldozer in the library, and it got to a point where I walked around my high school library and I'd read so many of the books. I mean, a lot of them. And it wasn't anything I did deliberately. Like, I didn't plan my reading. It wasn't thoughtful. And I want to be more thoughtful about my reading, not just because I want to make sure I do it, because I stopped in college, but also because I want to make sure that there's some balance. Right now I'm just reading fiction and I'm almost always reading fantasy, but I want to start getting into more career-related things. I want to keep up with more things that have to do with education, reading journal or teaching journals, things like that. I want to start reading a bit more. And I think this is a really good place to keep track of that and make sure that I'm doing that at least a little bit, even though fiction and fantasy are where like my biggest reading passions are. Standout stack for some of the best books of the year. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 slots there. Books on the big screen. So maybe it's because I just haven't read a lot in recent years, but I don't know of any books that have been to TV or vice versa that I have read or watched. I will be reading Game of Thrones, and I did watch Game of Thrones, but that's the only thing that jumps to mind, and I feel like I've never had more than 2 or 3 books in a year that have actually been books to movies or TV or something. And so I don't know, this feels like a lot of space, and I'm super curious if you've ever done anything like this, or if they pop into your mind where you would need all of this space for books on the big screen. because I envision myself not needing this much space. But maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I just read weird stuff. But now we have a place for favorite quotes, and these are really cute bubbles. I like to put quotes in my reading journal. I will probably continue to do that, but I might pull like my favorite ones to go in here. And they'll also be really good for when I want to use a book as a secondary theme in my bullet journal. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of those. And then mini book reviews. I really love this idea. I use my reading journal for book reviews, but I'm thinking about using this page. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think there are 27 slots, and I know that Monica from Peanut Butter Taco suggested that maybe you use them if you're reading a lot, that you might need more than 27 slots. You could pick like the top 2 books per month. I might do that. I don't know what my schedule is going to look like. So I really don't know if maybe 27 books is all I'm going to read next year, and that would be just fine because I definitely haven't been reading very much in the past, but I'm also not sure because I want to work harder at reading more. So we'll see how that goes. Then you have a lot of dot grid pages, and I don't know what to do with these, but I enjoy the flexibility. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Mine's got a little yellow smudge there. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pages. And then the back cover. And this is super cool. There's a little pocket here. I did not expect a pocket. I don't know if this has always come with it. I don't know if it's some kind of promotion. I don't know if she did this last year. But I have a pocket. And that's a lot of fun because I don't even know what I'll stick in there, but I just like the option. And then we got the back cover. And that is the Bookworm Life. I guess I can do a bit of pen testing before I sign off. That's a super tip. A ballpoint pen, a fine liner, a brush marker, a mild liner. I want to get a gel pen, but I have no idea where my gel pens are. A gel pen. It's not black. It has washi tape on it, but it might work. There's also a little yellow smudge there. So this looks like it might smudge a little. Oh, no, okay, it dried pretty quickly. And I know that I'm not writing with like all black utensils, so that might be a factor. Oh, I haven't used this pen in forever. It's a little awkward. Okay. And that. Oops, I misspelled it. That's okay. And finally, this blue pen. Is that? it smudged a little bit after like maybe a second, but not a lot. So this is a really nice paper. When it comes to the other side, there's almost some ghosting, but like not really. And you can barely feel the pens I used on the other side. Such a nice paper. I'm so excited. When I set this up, I will definitely film it. If I decide to recoil it, I will film that too, and I won't film my August setup. I will play with this in August, and I will film a September setup. But this is the Bookworm Life Planner by Peanut Butter Taco. I hope you enjoyed this flip through and that this was helpful. If you have any questions, definitely put them down in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!